Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Joe with another video. Today I bring you the one and only Zoologist fragrance that I have a full bottle of. Now I have samples of everything else, pretty much. I don't have the most recent release, Sloth. I did experience B, so I am familiar with B. But this one here was a present from my son, I believe 2 Christmases ago. And it is probably the most wearable and most maybe crowd-pleasing, or close to being a crowd-pleasing fragrance from the house of Zoologist. And it is the 2017 version of Panda. Now this fragrance here is classified as an oriental floral. Yeah, it's it's something about this fragrance. I don't know if it's the musk or the civet, but it has enough fruitiness and it has such light florals that just makes it so wearable. This was created by Christian Carbonell. It was a reformulation of the original Panda, and it has been said to be a more wearable version of it. If you know Zoologist fragrances, a lot of the commentary is that some are challenging, some are very different, very unique, because they're creating the environment of the animal named on the bottle, the environment that they live in. And sometimes that could be a bit challenging if you think about some of the notes or accords that are created to try to create or replicate that environment. Now I'm hearing their latest release, Sloth, is a very easier wearing Zoologist fragrance. Squid was probably one that was also a little more on the wearable side, or easier to wear. Not something as complex as, let's say, Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is quite a complex fragrance. Or even Camel, for that matter. Now I find Camel wearable for myself, but I don't think it's one of those fragrances that is a crowd pleaser. But this fragrance here is definitely, in my opinion, a very wearable fragrance, a staple in my niche collection when it comes to spring fragrances, without a doubt. So the notes in this fragrance, what do you have? In the top you have apple, magnolia, mandarin, orange, lily, osmanthus, ozonic notes, and tea. In the mid you have some amber, earthy notes, jasmine, orris, and patchouli. And in the base you got civet, musk, sandalwood, and vanilla. Like I said, there's definitely, like, off the bat you pick up this muskiness, but that apple and mandarin up front, right off the bat when it opens, you get that nice bright freshness with the slight touch of citrus, slight touch of fruitiness from the apple. And then that osmanthus and the tea note and a slight touch of jasmine. Not a dirty jasmine, just a clean touch of jasmine, and you get that orris in there. It all just blends together wonderfully, and to me just makes for a really outstanding spring fragrance. Now I know that there are some people that don't care for the fragrance. I personally do. If I were to recommend one Zoologist for anyone who's dipping their toes into Zoologist, this is the one I always recommend. I call it the safer fragrance to get to know. Now, I think you're going to find some offerings that are going to get more easier to get into as it goes in. B is one of those fragrances that, for me, the opening was a little off-putting, but the dry down is fantastic. It's a beautiful, sweet, honey, ambery fragrance in the dry down, nice powderiness. Again, another Zoologist that you can go out there and try. If the note of beeswax or bee pollen doesn't offend you or doesn't cause you a gag reflex like it does for me, then you should be alright. But this here, Panda, I'm telling you, if you haven't smelled it, get yourself a sample. This reformulation that came out in 2017 is fantastic. It's very long lasting, and that's another thing. You get what you pay for here with Zoologist fragrances. And, I like the different nuances across the line. There are a couple more that I do enjoy, but I wouldn't say that they're as easy to wear as Panda is. That's all. That's in my opinion. Me from a collector standpoint, I would get more of these fragrances because I just like the differences in profiles and the different unique twists that you get from the different fragrances that they make. So, new viewers, new subscribers, thank you for being here. NYC Fragrance family, thank you for the continued support. And until the next time, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.